microphone is good. It's just all for show. The microphone's just no. The microphone is seriously. Hey, everybody, welcome to DOYO Live Marketing Show. This is Dennis Schiraldi, founder of DOYO Live, the digital marketing interactive design conference in Youngstown, Ohio. Good to be with you from the start of season 7. That's right. We've been at this now for 300 plus interviews, and it is a great pleasure that we got our show sponsored by Lift Marketing. So thank you to Lift Marketing. We're here with another great sponsor today, and I really, at the end of the day, whether you're a sponsor or not, I really wanted to come out and interview you guys because I got to know you over the past year and just very fond of your business model and what you're doing from a marketing and business perspective and supporting the Youngstown, Warren region. Randy Swoger.
Yes.
I get that right.
Swager. Yeah.
Swager.
There you go.
My apologies. And Jim Standahar, both of SERVPRO, head of marketing.
Yes.
And Randy, you're
National Accounts Coordinator.
National Accounts Coordinator. Well, thank you guys for being a part of the DOYO Live Marketing Show. I've toned it down a little subdued. I used to go WWE like on it's the DOYO Live Marketing Shows, but maybe the coffee's not kicked in yet.
That's why we love being with you, because you're so genuine and so organic that it makes it fun. So
thank you.
It's great.
And we've brought our show back on the road. So our roots are steeped in going out to businesses in the community.
Yeah.
It wasn't COVID. It was a busy thing that brought us back home. And then we recently moved the show over to a coffee shop, and it's been centered on. And by the way, they have some of the best coffee of any business that I go to anywhere. So
you're allowed to say it on the air. You don't want to give away free advertising.
No, go. Oh, what's that?
Yeah, what's the coffee shop?
Oh, so near my house in Poland, Ohio, we go to Stone Fruit Coffee.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
they do a great job. It's great to support another local coffee place.
Yeah, they got one down on the campus. I've had it there a few times.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, and that's one of the things that we're going to talk a little bit about your marketing. You built an in-house marketing team / a lot of the in vogue term is agency. We're going to get into that. We obviously want to hear the SERVPRO story. You're one of the largest SERVPROs in the United States. And also talk about relationship marketing, because the fact that we're out here in person and you take that strategy a lot with the people that are on your team.
Right.
Incorporate the digital aspect and just want to dig into that a little bit more. But how about we start here? Randy, talk a little bit about maybe your background, your day-to-day, and things like you do here at SERVPRO.
I have a 22 years actually of industry knowledge. I had my own commercial cleaning company, and then came over to Team Dobson a couple years ago, saw what Jimmy, Andy, and Katie were doing, and we talked, and I brought about 50 employees over with me to help out on that side of the business. We do multiple lines of business, but janitorial is one of them.
Yeah. And
I was in sales for 2 years. I saw how awesome it was in the marketing department. My wife's been with Jim for a couple years, and I begged, pleaded, cried, and finally got in the first of the year. So
good for you.
Yeah. So I've actually been in the marketing department since February as a national accounts coordinator. So my job is to, obviously, national accounts, take some of our local or regional accounts and work on those on a national level.
Yeah.
And we've had some success. Never any failures, like Jim says. If you're not ever losing. What is this?
You're not winning. You're learning.
Yeah, if you're learning. Yeah. So it's never a loss. You're always learning. So we're finding our way here, and it's been a fun ride the first 7 months.
Yeah, awesome. And good for you, man. And Jim, you head up the marketing team.
I do. Yeah, my story is a little different than Randy's. I came from a completely different industry. I spent most of my career with 2 Fortune 500 companies. One being the most of my career was spent in the pharmaceutical industry. So I had put in close to 25 years in the pharmaceutical industry in different roles. So just as you're talking about taking our business to the street and meeting people face to face, that was the essence of what I did every day. So that really played a big role in bringing that philosophy to our team. So to me, it's second nature. I think it's an integral part of doing business. I think it's with the advent of and the power behind social and digital marketing, that part has kind of gone away. So I've kind of brought the team back. It's my philosophy to get out there and put boots on the ground, make sure that people are seeing us in the community, and a lot of that philosophy, like I said, comes from years and years of just doing direct face-to-face selling. So,
It's interesting is that I grew up in medical imaging,
right.
and very analogous to the pharmaceutical world, where we would have to go out and build relationships in the physician community for referrals back to our imaging center.
Right.
And I did that for a decade. And it was funny because like all marketing now, it's like we all these geniuses come up with these brilliant ideas of, you've got to educate your audience, come up with something new, all these things. And when I was in that industry, I was like, well, I can't go in every time just like, hey, buy, because nobody wanted to talk to you if you took that approach. So you had to really invest in people.
Yeah.
Take the education route. Today may not be your day. Live to fight another day.
Yeah.
Always want to be on top of the stack.
Mm-hmm.
What do we say in digital marketing? We always want to show up on the first page.
Right.
So a lot of those concepts was basically building towards of what I'm doing now. And the other part of that, I don't know if you experience this, it's tough to go out and do it every day. Like,
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Right. 8, 10, 15 offices.
I tell my people all the time, not every day is a home run, right? There's going to be days when you just aren't clicking. There's going to be days when you get a lot of doors slammed in your face, or the opportunity to talk to somebody, or for that case, multiple people in the course of a day just doesn't happen, right?
Yep.
There's always going to be that way. So what I kind of taught my team is that when that happens, there's other ways to connect, right? You get back to the car, maybe the client didn't see you. I want the laptop open. I want you to send them a message on an email, maybe,
LinkedIn.
or a text message. Connect with them on the social platforms. Make sure they know that you're connected now. Call the office back and leave a voicemail on their phone. There's all ways to connect, even if it's not face to face. We like to take advantage of all those opportunities.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you either win or
so
learn.
many of those days I was like pulling into a parking lot.
You
and
didn't
I
do
look
enough.
at it and I'm like, do I want to go in here today, or
Yeah.
do I just want to call it a day? Do I want to go in? And then you go in and then like something magical happens and you're like, thank God I didn't listen to my the one shoulder.
The little guy on your shoulder.
Well,
Yeah.
I've had instances too where, we don't have time to meet you right now. Keep checking back in. You keep dripping on them.
Yeah.
And then when something happens and they remember, hey, that guy Randy Swagger, I got to call him because we have,
He wants my business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the emergency restoration business, and when someone's in an emergency, they usually remember the person that
Right.
has checked in on them, called them. And I'm not saying you do it every day, you do it every week. You do it every couple weeks, once a month.
You're so right though. Those touches are so important, and it's not top of mind on purpose for some people, but in the same note, like when what hits the fan,
Yep.
they got their guy Randy who
Exactly.
has been, reaching out, touching them, whatever
Yeah,
that is.
I think a good word for it is, I teach everybody about professional persistence, right? Being professional about your contacts, being professional about your frequency. When nobody wants to see you every day in the office, so you got to be professional about how often you call on them. You got to be ready, right? When you're in front of somebody, you got to be ready to perform. So having them be ready, teaching them about frequency and the importance of that, and also being persistent, I think is because we're a break the glass company. We use that term all the time. When somebody has to break the glass in an emergency and call somebody, is our name in that glass? Are we the people they're going to go to?
Yeah.
And I think we would be when we're top of mind.
Sure.
That's where we try to be. We just try to be top of mind.
Everywhere.
And we preach never say no. When our current customers or potential customers call us, we figure it out for them. We never say, you know what, we can't do that for you today.
Yeah.
Never. It's never happened, and I don't think it ever will happen.
How do you balance? Because I know it's, I deal with it in my day. I have clients that have, I'll leave this meeting today at noon. I'm working with a large SaaS-based healthcare IT company, so I still have healthcare clients. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about a lead gen dashboard, and we're going to go down through and do a lead scrub. And so the art, you talk about the frequency of the touches, right? It's a nurture, it's a drip, but it's also, you don't want to become the annoying person either. How do you manage that? How do you know what the the right frequency is. And
Are you talking face to face, or are you talking just touches in general?
feel right.
Yeah, I think for us, it's about using all of that's available to us.
Yeah.
You know, we rely heavily on social media
Mhm.
to reach a lot of people. We get a lot of comments about people who follow us when they see us out in the community.
Yep.
You know, they always say, "Oh, we follow your social media. We enjoy it so much." And I think using everything that's available, and there's going to be customers maybe where Randy doesn't hit it off with that person, or his wife might hit it off with somebody better, or Lindsay might be, a better candidate to talk to that customer. So we're always using the entire team.
Yeah.
And we're also using everything that's available to us. I believe strongly that people need to see you at least, like in our industry, probably at least once a month.
Yeah.
And there's industries where that may be different. The thing is, Dennis, we're not selling anything. We're not a company that's going to knock on your door, ask for you to write a check, give you an invoice. We're an emergency relief company. We don't really sell a product; we sell a service. So it's a little, the dynamic's a little different.
Yeah.
In terms of frequency. And
Randy, how do you manage when you feel like you're getting into somebody's maybe, oh, Randy's calling me again, or it's, hey, Randy's calling me again.
No, and you're right, and I mean that does happen from time to time, which it's kind of shocking because who wouldn't want to see this pretty face at least once a month? But
Exactly.
no, I've had customers that I get a feel, but I've been doing this for so long that I can tell.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna give these guys, we're gonna give them a couple of
give
months,
them a breather, yeah.
and then maybe
never
not gonna say, well, this is dead, done, over with. Because I always say the worst thing they can tell you is no, we're not interested. Or in our industry, hey, we have someone that already does the fire and flood restoration. Well, I'd like to be your number 2, or I'd like to be your number 3, because your number 1 may get busy. And we've gotten jobs off of that. We've gotten a large metropolitan housing authority over here that their number 1 couldn't respond to them one day, and because Jim had been dripping on them, they called us, and now we have all their business. So, it's that philosophy of never say no. When they say no, it doesn't always mean no forever. It may be no for right now, and constantly dripping on them.
I literally, I think it's a lot of its context and who you are as a person. You mentioned that at the start. I appreciate that, but like I'll tell on myself with people. I'll be like, I understand that there's a fine line between me being a pain in the butt and me also following up to let you know that I really would like your business.
Tell me when I am.
And it's fine. Like, I just want you to let you know that, and they laugh, and I'm like, okay, I get it. But let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn. You brought up LinkedIn.
Yep.
And I think all three of us at this table were in the working world in a business development, sales driving type of environment pre-LinkedIn.
Yep.
Turn this off.
Right?
Yeah.
And, I was actually, when I started in healthcare, like we would have a pillar meeting and then we would just kind of drive down the road and look for blue hospital signs to maybe pop in case the joint. How has LinkedIn changed your life?
I think our number 1 marketing tool is our vehicles. Everybody sees our vehicles on the road all the time. And in my opinion, our number 2 marketing tool, I don't know about Google and all that, but is everywhere I go, oh my God, we see you guys on LinkedIn all the time. You're always posting on LinkedIn. They'll talk about Joanna, Lindsay, Katie. You guys are just killing it. And that we've gotten, I could probably name a half a dozen accounts we've gotten because of LinkedIn.
It's the ability to maximize LinkedIn too, though. It's not just posting, it's finding out who the decision makers are. I think that's where business lives right now. I think it's that, I don't know, you probably know more than I do, Dennis, about what platforms are growing and declining.
Right.
But I got to believe LinkedIn's hasn't reached its potential yet, right? I don't think it has. So we believe in using all the benefits that LinkedIn has and finding who decision makers are in certain businesses that we're targeting, that we want to be a partner with,
right?
That we want a relationship with. And we're able to glean a lot of that data from LinkedIn.
Sure.
So it's not only a place just to be seen, but it's an information source.
You're so right. And what's crazy about it is that I could remember, like, how did we go about it before LinkedIn to find out? It was so time consuming now we're 3 clicks away on LinkedIn from just about anybody in the business world.
Yes.
So like you want to know the GM, the CEO, the COO of X, Y, and Z business, LinkedIn, click, click, click.
All right.
I got the company, I got the person. Okay, I'm here. Back in the day, it was just endless time.
You had to work.
Work. You had to really work.
Yeah.
Half your job, maybe even 3/4 of it, was building out the contact profile, so then you could go do your job.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. I saw something this morning that's interesting that I think that it's 10 years from now and there will be a new platform, but Gen Z is utilizing TikTok more for purchasing decisions than
That's
Instagram
amazing,
and Google.
Oh my gosh.
I was
I would have
like,
never thought that. Never thought that.
I was just like, oh my God, like I'm speechless. Like, so at what point now?
I just don't understand, why can't we just get one once we get one platform that we understand, now I have to learn another one.
Yeah.
My kids are doing this Snapchat thing and I can't figure it
Yeah.
out for the life of me. I'll get a snap, my son or daughter is snap
Especially when you're my
something.
age.
I go to click on the snap and
Yeah.
then something totally different comes up and I'm like, I can't figure. It's ever evolving and trying to keep up with it.
That's a good point, though, Dennis, because when you think about the social media world and when these platforms came into being, that generation, they own it. It's not my generation. I have to learn it. They grew up with it,
Yeah.
right? So I got to circle back, learn everything, learn the language, learn the platform, learn how it works and the value of it. They've been doing it since they were toddlers, right? So it's their world. And that's why I think when you're hiring people in marketing, it's important to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
It's been very beneficial to me,
Right.
from what, at my age, to have people younger than me just take that whole part of our business, that digital presence, that social media presence, and just kill it. Right.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I would kill it in my position in life. Right.
I know I would. I mean, I know I wouldn't either. And I'm 20 years younger than Jim, and I think even my demographic age group, we're on the cusp of it. But we like what my kids are doing today, and what these college kids and mid-20s are doing with it it's mind blowing.
Mine's by default because it ended up 10 years ago, or no, gosh. So you have to think that Facebook is just about 18 years old this year.
Yep.
How about that? Yeah.
So you obviously have a generation of 0 to 18 that grew up, they never knew the world without Facebook.
Yep.
But you also have somebody that was 30 is now 48.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that was 50 is now 68. So some of the platforms are mature, but then there's all these other buttons and I can't figure out how to work it. So I by default got into this business. So I have to be cognizant of these platforms, but I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
Like I struggle with some of them because I'm just like,
It's a lot.
If I didn't have clients that I had on TikTok or had here, I would probably not have any much use for it. Although the oddest person, I'm going to say odd, but a very familiar person in my life, 62, 63-year-old business owner. We're out golfing and he hit a chip shot near the green and he's like, I finally mastered that. And I was like, what, are you taking lessons again? He's like, no, I saw it on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
I go, you're on TikTok? Like,
there's nothing you can't find, right?
I was like, you're watching TikTok videos? He's like, yeah. He goes, I'm so addicted to it.
Jim, he's talking about you,
So,
61,
so
62-year-old guy on TikTok.
So I do want to come back to this. So you're going to have some
I'm
people.
going to have Lindsay and Katie.
Okay, so we want to talk about the
Yeah.
relationship marketing piece
Right.
of people that grew up with social media in their hand, but
Right.
obviously being out in person. I'd like to talk about building the in-house marketing team and what the what the idea was behind that, why you decided to go that direction, because you have a team.
Yeah. Well, everything that happens here goes back to the opportunities that were given by the ownership group. The ownership group is, to put a long story short, they're all from this area. They live here, they grew up here, they work here, and they want to stay here.
Yep.
And that's the first and foremost thing you have to understand about our company is that we are homegrown and we are going to not only stay here, but we're going to invest in the community. So they thought, well, what better way than to make everything here homegrown.
Mhm.
And that means from the people who produce our jobs, the people who work in our office, and including the marketing team. So there are a lot of marketing teams in the SERVPRO system who third party out everything.
Sure.
They'll hire a marketing company to handle their website presence and some of their social media posts. And we just didn't feel like that's the path we wanted to take. So, they charged me with bringing people in, both on the ground people and people in the digital marketing world who could really build
Sure.
our brand and our franchise here in the communities. So, I tell people all the time, they say, well, how did you find all these people? And I'm just like, gosh, the thing for me is I just look for the good people.
Mhm.
I want good people. And the people I've hired are the most consistent human beings I've ever met in my life. I'm not just saying that. They're so consistent every day. And I think to myself, man, how did I get so lucky?
Yeah.
Because that's really what it takes to build an in-house team, is people that come every day with the energy, the passion, the dedication, from Randy mostly being out in the field for us. Rod is out in the field for us, talking to insurance every day.
Yep.
And then I've got these other people inside who just have the passion for what they do. It's made it easy.
Did you go out and find a copywriter or a social media expert or a SEO expert, or you found high quality individuals with the desire, the want,
Right.
and maybe some of the skill set, and then
Exactly.
coached them up?
That's more or less it. I don't know about as much coaching as you might think, but just indoctrinating them into the industry,
Yeah.
giving them some industry background, giving them some product knowledge, about services and things like that. But I didn't have to coach them up about their work ethic. I didn't have to coach them up about their skill set.
Right.
It was more or less getting them to understand what's important.
You did coach me up on organization. I was kind of scattered. Like, I tried to keep everything up here, and he's gotten me to put everything on paper. Everything is in Excel spreadsheets. So, I mean, he's being modest. He does do a lot of coaching. No, I've learned, like I said, I've been here 7 months in the marketing department, and I've learned a lot, and I think I've grown a lot.
Yeah.
In that 7 months, just from, how to stay organized, how to stay on task. I would jump from here to there to here to there to here to there. And,
Sure.
Sometimes that wasn't.
Was that as the business owner,
That came from me being the business owner, and then once I went into my sales position, I would miss appointments sometimes because I wouldn't write something down, and that's bad in our industry. That's bad.
Yeah.
So I had to take the coaching and discipline myself that, okay, slow down.
The owners know now, by the way. You just told everybody.
Oh, that's
Everybody knows.
No, but you take the coaching and you discipline yourself that just slow down, take a couple minutes,
Right.
put it on the spreadsheet, and then you go back to the spreadsheet. No, I just saw this guy. I got to call this guy. It's
right.
So like I said, he does do coaching. He's being modest. He does coach us along and help us out.
Oh, absolutely. I've even gotten it through phone calls and emails on the other side of it.
Say that one more.
I've gotten it from Jim,
Yeah.
from just emails or phone calls and just conversations that I've had.
Yeah.
You're willing to pass along all that experience and knowledge that you got. It's like, it's appreciated. But I think being pragmatic comes back from going into the day-to-day office. Like, that's probably one of the most key ingredients, I think, to being successful, especially in a marketing or kind of revenue driving position role, is you have to be willing to be pragmatic about your day on a daily basis, without it too becoming kind of robotic and like. But yeah, I think being pragmatic is super important.
If you're robotic, people will know immediately, right? I can't tell you how many times I used to walk into an office and read the environment in that office at the moment and say, you know what, I'm coming back another day. I'm not going to be the guy that sets these people back from going home another later half an hour. People want to go home at 5:00. If I'm in there for an hour with the doctor, they're going to go home at 6:00.
Right.
But I want to be that guy.
You know, you could really sense too as well. Like, so, you know, we're going to get into again the in-person relationship, and the one thing that you can't get, I mean, I guess you could get them from reviews, but that's way down the line, and you can get maybe somebody frowny faces a post of yours or gives you a thumbs down. But when you walk into a business, you can very quickly
Read it,
sum it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you read the room real quick, like whether it's a doctor or the owner, and everybody is, are they open sharing and talking?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought there was a party going on. It was 8:15 in the morning. I was like, is there a party going on already? Oh, it's Friday. And so like everybody's like really excited. But you can walk in offices where like nobody will say a word, and the person that's running the show is like a dictator, and they got their thumb on everything, and everybody's like, and you're like,
right? Who do I have to be right now? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only get that though being in the room, I think.
Yeah. Live for another day sometimes, you know, because they'll appreciate it. The staff will appreciate it. You know, the gatekeeper will appreciate it. The customer appreciates it if you understand that, because you don't know what you just walked into sometimes. You know, you can walk into an office to make a simple sales call or just a touch point, and something may have happened a half an hour. Maybe had to fire somebody before you walked in. You know, you just don't know sometimes. So you got to have that skill to be able to read the room, know your customer, and the only way you're going to know your customer is to be with your customer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We talk about trying to uncover pain points. You know, what makes the customer, in our business, what keeps them up at night. If you're a facilities manager, you know, what is it about your job that keeps you up at night?
Sure.
We'd like to be an answer for that. So that's the attitude we walk in with.
So let's talk about the SERVPRO story.
Yeah.
And the reason I'd like to do that as well is because, no one, as a sponsor, we're trying to incorporate you in our social media posts. And I've got SERVPRO. I hope I don't get this wrong. East Mahoning County.
East Mahoning.
Yeah. Then I've got SERVPRO of, and I don't know which one to tag all.
Well, we have 15 of them.
But you have 15 locations.
Yeah, we do. We have 15 franchises, which back in 2011, Jim Dobson bought his first SERVPRO franchise. So as a business owner, you know, he was doing commercial work and commercial cleaning, and started getting kicked off jobs because they had to use SERVPRO. You know, he was an independent business owner. He says, well, if I can't beat him, I'm going to join him. So he bought a franchise.
Sure.
And a few years later, he bought a second and a third. And his son jumped into the business around 2016? 2015. Yeah. And Andy and Katie jumped in and started buying franchises. And within a course of about 11 years, we're at 15 franchises.
Wow. So
we currently sit at one of the largest franchise ownership groups in the country.
It's amazing.
Which I think people in this valley may not know. There's a lot of, I tell my team all the time, my favorite word when we talk to customers is share the capacity that we have to serve people, right? With 15 franchises means you've got a lot of equipment, you've got a lot of people, got a lot of vehicles, right? So that story of building this capacity to serve and to perform 15 service lines is really the story. It's just a story of growth. And a lot of it came 2020 to 22, right through COVID.
Yep.
You know, so we're moving through COVID and growing when a lot of people, unfortunately, weren't having that same opportunity.
10 franchises in that 2 years. We went from 5 to 15.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a lot.
It's amazing.
So once again, it goes back to the owners, you know, providing us with opportunities, not just opportunities for people to make a good living, but for people to have employment.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole story is really great here in the Valley, and it goes back to the commitment they have, excuse me, to live here, work here, and stay here. Right. So it's just a great story. I wish I can't stop talking about it enough, because I came here in 2018, and although I didn't see the very beginning, I've heard about it and learned about it, but I've seen the growth, and it's been special, really special.
Training facility, here on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So you say you're headquartered out of Warren, Ohio.
Yes.
That was Warren, Ohio.
Yes.
Servicing Northeast Ohio, Western PA.
Yes, pretty
And
close in Ashtabula, up in Ashtabula and Erie. Pennsylvania.
Right.
And then most recently, 4 franchises in the Beechwood, Cleveland area.
Beechwood,
East side of
Cleveland.
Yeah.
And
East
as far
side.
as south as Canton?
South,
Philly,
New
yeah.
Philadelphia.
New Philly.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a big footprint.
Yep.
Yeah.
You mentioned training. We have Andy is one of our owners and also is a triple master restorer. So he has reached the highest level of training that you can have in this industry. And with that, it allows him to train our own people, which is great. Normally you'd have to send somebody away to a school, learn some of the techniques, learn some of the knowledge. We can do it right here in this room that we're sitting in.
Right.
And he's trained numerous classes of employees, and it just builds a stronger team. It's a real advantage to have a guy like Andy on our staff who has all of the knowledge that we need and has the ability to also teach.
Branding wise, you got the logo on everything. And by the way, it's really pronounced like good. So this is back online.
Cool.
Cool.
Grab them.
She says she's coming.
Both of them.
Yep.
Awesome.
So I got Lindsay and Katie coming in, so I'm gonna bounce.
All right.
But
Randy, thank you
Yeah,
for
you
stopping
bet.
on by,
Yep.
man. Yeah, appreciate
thanks
your
for having
time.
us.
Thank you.
Bet. Yep.
Jim, one of the other, we were talking about Panerathon, but I see that I think, you mentioned commitment, obviously employee wise and whatnot, but you got a big commitment to events in the area.
Yeah.
I mean, you obviously a sponsor of our marketing conference this coming year,
Mhm.
which we're hugely appreciative, but tons of other stuff as well. And yeah, come on in. The sound.
The sound wasn't.
It crapped out for a minute.
Okay.
I just said
Wasn't, though. I just checked it again before we came in.
you did.
Just
Oh, that's not good.
Give me 1 second.
Sure. Come on in, guys. Try to. One's gonna have to like sit kind of in between
I'll sit
because it's a
back a little
narrow.
bit, yeah.
It's a narrow thing.
Test, test, test. It should be working. Guys are out there watching our DO Live marketing show today. Really appreciate it. We've got SERVPRO in, and if you could just leave me a quick comment, ask a question, say anything. I think we had a little bit of an audio issue, and I want to make sure that it's fixed. If I have to, I'll mute this one.
Do you have us all in? Eric?
I do.
We're squeezed in. Feel like I'm
And if I
sitting
can
in-
hear, I can hear myself coming through in this ear.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I want to make sure I don't want to. I don't want to do a full recording though if it's not working. You said you just checked it.
Right before we came back, yeah. There was no sound.
How do we check it now?
I know, that's what I was thinking. Have Maria or pull it up somebody. Oh, that, yeah.
So what I'll do is this. Again, I could hear me in that ear.
Is that?
And now it's muted, now it's unmuted, and I got the feedback in my ear, and that's coming through as well.
So we're good?
I think we should be good.
Cool. Lindsay's trying to check it.
Check it.
Do you want me to like sing something? I mean, you
It's a
know,
good thing that we edit this at the end too, right? So it is live, but then at the same note, we've got.
I had a notification that it came on earlier for me. It didn't, but
could you imagine me trying to figure out
You
how to
were
find
into it.
if it's
Oh.
working?
Are you on Facebook?
I am.
I know you're on LinkedIn because
Yeah.
anytime I go live, I know you're on LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah.